video. Got another banger here for you guys. Going to be going over the Washington Commanders 2022 preseason preview here for you. We have plenty of other ones. If you guys haven't seen those, go make sure to check those ones out as well. But you Commander fans, don't worry. Didn't forget about you guys. Got one for you guys as well. So, but before we get into it, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, on the road to 100 subscribers. So if you could please hit that button, help us out. We greatly appreciate that. Turn that notification bell on so you're notified anytime we upload one of these videos. Let's go! Off with last season's stats for the Commanders here. They went 7-10, and these stats are also going to be according to PFF. So if you like PFF, good for you. If you don't, good for you. Doesn't matter. Is what it's going to be. All right. So they went 7-10 last year. Okay, I guess. Could have been better, but points scored, they were tied 23rd. Points allowed, they were 25th. According to PFF, they were the 20th overall team. They had the 22nd offense, the 13th overall defense, and the 24th overall special teams.
So obviously not like a great year per se.
Yeah.
But they do have some things to look forward to, I would say. They had a really good defense when it came to the rushing defense and sacks, and hopefully that just increases this year with maybe everyone on that defensive line being healthy.
Mm-hmm.
They had the year prior, they had a crazy defense that almost beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl run that he had there down in Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And then just last year it just kind of fell all apart. So hopefully this third year it turns around for him. And then Mikey, you were talking about Ron Rivera. You want to go ahead and just hit on that real quick?
Yep.
You're right.
Ron Rivera, he's going into his third crucial year of his rebuild here. After an impressive and outright courageous first year with the team and a massive sophomore slump. Sorry, tired today. Team seemingly endless off the field of turmoil. He was given the keys to the right the ship, and this will be massive prove-it season for Ron Rivera down there or over there, wherever you're from, in Washington. So we'll see what he can do. Some things are kind of maybe looking up for him. You know, you got that new guy in there that we'll touch on, but yeah, he's going into his third year. Big make it or break it season, obviously, kind of in a sense. So hopefully he can. We'll see what they can do.
So then, just hopping straight into the free agency then for you guys, people that you guys have lost or cut or whatnot. Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's retired. Kyle Allen, the quarterback, he's gone. Brendan Sheriff, he went to the Jaguars, who PFF has ranked as the 13th best guard. Eric Flowers, who's ranked as the 17th best guard. Losing Adam Humphries and DeAndre Carter, both your wide receivers. Ricky Seals-Jones, a tight end. Landon Collins, you guys cut him, save some cap. Tim Settle, Matt Ioannidis, John Bostic, and DeShazer Everett are all free agents. You guys are gone. They've kind of moved on. Nothing major per se on the things lost apart from the two
Guards.
Yeah, the two guards, which is really surprising. I mean, losing Sheriff is probably the biggest loss for you guys. He's the first your guys' former first round pick. You guys tagged him twice trying to work on deals, and then he finally hit the market, and he got a huge contract with the Jaguars down there that were throwing money at anybody that would look their way.
Yeah.
There's some reports or something that you guys were going to make him the highest paid guard, and I guess it just didn't happen. He has struggled to stay on the field the last 4 years, but he is one of the best, your guys' best linemen that is now gone. And then with the releasing of Eric Flowers, man, that's rough. That's two guards, two staple points, and when we get onto your guys' additions and such, it's probably pretty important.
Yeah.
With the guy you guys just traded for. So that just brings us to the people that they have signed, re-signed, or traded for. Mikey, you want to take it away? Let us know.
Yep. Well, as I was saying earlier, the guy I was talking about is obviously What in the Carson Wentz was that?
Seriously, one of the funniest sound bites I've ever heard.
Yep. Traded for old Carson Wentz over there, obviously formerly of the Colts. He's your guys' new starting quarterback, potentially, more than likely will be. I don't think it'll be Taylor Heineke at all. So,
Neither does Taylor Heineke.
yeah, good guy. Shout out to Taylor Heineke, by the way. Great professional. If you haven't seen his interview, go ahead, check it out, where they talk about if he's going to be fighting for the starting spot. Gives a good answer, in a sense. So, check it out if you haven't already. Shout out Taylor Heineke.
Awesome.
You guys also re-signed or extended Terry McLaurin. Re-signed Cam Sims. Re-signed J.D. McKissick. You guys got 2 tackles coming up here. You extended both of your tackles in Charles Leno and Cornelius Lucas.
Charles Leonard, former Boise State player, baby.
Boom, boom. And then guys picked up Andrew Norwell, the 42nd ranked guard according to PFF. Got him from the Jaguars, and then you guys picked up Trey.
Right.
I would say Trey Turner, the 31st overall guard from the Steelers, according to PFF.
It's only slight downgrade on both sides.
Yeah, so you guys did pick up 2 guards at least, so doing good there in that aspect. Probably saved a little bit of money too doing it, so maybe they big brained it and then we just don't know it yet. But then they also re-signed Joey Sly, and Bobby McCain.
Who I really like. I think he's a good safety, so I'm glad you guys got to re-sign him and then move on from Landon Collins and get some cap space back. But then, moving on, just get to the big thing in the room. Carson Wentz. Commanders traded for him. Washington, they pick up Carson Wentz and 2022's 47th and 240th pick. And Indianapolis, they received the 42nd, the 73rd, and then either a third or a second, depending on how much Carson Wentz plays. We'll throw it up on there so you guys can see it. It's like 70% of the snaps over under. If you ask any fans from, Dylan, Colts fans, or Eagles fans, it's going to be a rough time for the Commanders, except if you've looked at what they've had for the last few years and the QB turmoil they've had, just having someone like, just crazy as it is to say, stable like Carson Wentz is going to be very helpful for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from 2020, so when Ron Rivera started till now, you guys have had people starting as, get ready for the Cleveland Browns list, Dwayne Haskins, Kyle Allen, Alex Smith on one leg, back to Haskins, back to Alex Smith, Taylor Heineke, then back to Ryan Fitzpatrick before he got hurt, then back to Heineke, then Garrett Gilbert for a pick, and then back to to Heineke. So that's a lot of people starting in a lot of different times and a lot of, change. That's not really good for an organization. So hopefully just having Carson Wentz there, proven starter, he can win games. We'll see what they can do now. Kind of intrigued to see what they can do.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Carson Wentz doesn't try to play hero ball and try and put the team on his back. He has players there that he can use in Terry McLaurin and Curtis Samuel, and the line's okay. Nothing really terrible about it, so that's also good about him. And then he has J.D. McKissick he can hand off to, and Antonio Gibson.
Hopefully.
So he has good players around him. He don't need to do too much. He just needs to throw the ball and hit his receivers. That's about it.
And then moving on to a fun part, we always love it. The draft for you guys. Who did they take, Mikey, first?
Well, in round 1, 16th overall, which in the time was kind of maybe seemed like a reach a little bit, but you guys drafted Jahan Dawson, if you don't already know, wide receiver out of Penn State. Jahan Dawson, he's a really good receiver. Wasn't like rated super highly to some people. Kind of flew up on boards towards the coming days of the draft, but
Right.
Washington going in first round, getting Jahan Dawson, like the 3rd receiver off the board, I think he was. No, 4th. He's a 4th receiver off the board. But I think so. Putting him up with Terry McLaurin and Curtis Samuel and having a guy like Jahan Dawson in there as well, like that's money for Carson Wentz.
Yes, sir. And then moving on to the second pick, you guys drafted Vadarian Mathis, the D tackle from Bama. Um, Kind of shocking to take that draft pick, especially since you guys have a very good defensive tackle room. Um, but with Tim Settle and Matt Ioannidis leaving, kind of needed to fill up some spots, and then there's maybe some talks or thoughts that maybe Duron Payne, the long tenured commander now, might walk next year as a cap casualty. So picking up somebody who's as good as Vadarian is a pretty good pickup, I would say. May not be a quote unquote like necessary need right now, but you should be drafting the best players, not needs.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the pick.
And then the third round, 98th overall, guys went with Brian Robinson Jr., running back out of Alabama. He's just a big, powerful back. Power runner. He'll back up Antonio Gibson on first and second downs. Could take over in short yardage situations. But they just needed a big running back to be able to throw in there as well. Didn't really have that. And then so having a running back room of Gibson, Robinson, and McKissick might be a force to reckon with, depending on how good Robinson can do here in his rookie year.
Mm-hmm. And then in the fourth round, you guys took more of a, what I guess you could call project, but somebody with a really high ceiling athletic-wise. Very fast safety, and Percy Butler. Percy Butler from University of Louisiana Lafayette. I'm trying to hiccup. Sorry, man. He's shown that he can play special teams very well, and it looks like that's what they kind of brought him in for. With then the aspect that he could probably play a deep safety, but he doesn't need to right now. He's just probably that third guy in there, that rotational piece. If you guys want to run 3 safety sets or need him to pick up some plays, he can develop some time though behind 2 good safeties in Cam Curl and Bobby McCain. So I thought that pick it's not a bad pick. I like it. It's not as exciting as this next pick that Mikey's got, but it's still an interesting pick for you guys.
Yeah, in the 5th round, 144th overall, you guys picked up Sam Howell.
Baker Mayfield. Wait, sorry, say it again.
Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield wannabe Sam Howell, quarterback out of North Carolina. Kind of interesting in the sense. I mean, you guys obviously didn't need the quarterback. You guys have Carson Wentz, Taylor Heineke, but might as well pick up a developmental guy, and then you don't need him to play right away. You can kind of let him sit on the bench a year or 2 or however long Carson Wentz is there, or however that goes. So you guys got him. Maybe you can develop him into something. He had one really good year at North Carolina, 2 really good years at North Carolina, and then he lost a few of his offensive weapons and then kind of fell off. But seen sparks of him being really good at UNC in that Mac Brown offense and everything. So, I don't know. 5th round, I mean, in that season where they were really good at North Carolina, he was projected to go even number 1 overall. He was that good. So, there are flashes where he can be something good, and the talent he probably had at UNC compared to the talent on like an NFL roster is obviously miles above. So,
yeah.
Good workout in the end.
Kind of like the Josh Allen situation. He had a great like sophomore year, and then lost his 3 best weapons and then a couple offensive line, and then had a really bad junior year before he got drafted. Stark difference between the Josh Allen, a freak of nature, 6'5", and then Sam Howell, who, if you watch him play, reminds and looks like Baker Mayfield, basically.
Daddy Josh.
Yeah. But in that same 5th round, you guys did pick up somebody in the Mountain West, tight end Cole Turner from Nevada. I really like this. I don't think he has any great potential to be like a top 5 tight end in the NFL, but he's a really good tight end as it is. He's a big pass catching kind of tight end. He can fill in right behind Logan Thomas, who's really good for you guys. And he's done really well in the Mountain West the last few years. There's been a lot of really good tight ends in the Mountain West. So I like that 5th round pick, just shot in the dark, and then just quickly going over the last 2 guys that are going to be camp battles or maybe depth pieces that you could see later on. Chris Paul, guard for the New Orleans for Tulsa, and then Christian Holmes, cornerback from Oklahoma. So that's kind of like the offseason stuff that you've gotten, acquisitions and losses wise. And then there's been some big changes. You guys went from the Washington Redskins to the Washington football team, and now you guys are the Washington Commanders. You guys got 3 new jerseys, which look really good. I'm excited to see those black ones. So there's some new hype. And then where there is new, there's also old, aka FedEx Field, that literally shits on their fans repeatedly. So hopefully they can get that fixed, and that kind of leads into your guys' owner kind of being a scumbag. So I'm curious, that brings up a question, kind of like the Raiders last year, where there was just so much going on in the organization, like how much that Dan Snyder and outside noise is gonna affect the Commanders this year going into this. We won't really get into what Snyder's done. That's not kind of what this is. It's about the football team. So we'll kind of move on. I'm excited. I think that they can have a really good season this year. I'm not sure how you're feeling about them, Michael, but I'm excited to see what the Commanders are able to put together. Buddy?
I know. I'm sorry. I was just reading something. No, yeah, I am excited for the Commanders. I'm excited to see what they can do as well. They got a good team. Hopefully everyone can stay healthy, and then hopefully that defense can play like they did 2 years ago, not last year, but 2 years ago with Chase Young and all them boys popping off. I think they could potentially compete for the NFC East. It's gonna be kind of tough with the Eagles and the Cowboys, so we'll see what they can do there. But yeah, I'm excited.
Okay. Well, just kind of brings us to the end of our video. The way we like to end these off is, last year you guys were 7-10. Mikey, are they improving on that 7-10 record, or are they gonna be about the same? Stutter.
I think they get slightly better. I think they might win 1 or 2 more games.
Okay, because that's what I was feeling, and one of the biggest reasons why, we'll throw it up there for you guys, the schedule for you guys. Last year, you guys had I think a top 5 strongest strength of schedule, which shouldn't be like a big deal in the NFL. We've talked it off multiple times, and paper isn't always everything. But you guys got the Jags, Lions, Eagles, Cowboys, Titans, Bears, Packers, Colts, Vikings, Eagles, Texans, Falcons, Giants, Niners, Browns, Cowboys. I think there's more than 7 games you guys can win there. So I think that this is going to be an improvement on the team as well. Apart from that, though, we do appreciate you guys for sticking to the end of the video and watching. If you guys have subscribed, we do appreciate you guys. And if you haven't, consider subscribing, turning on that notification bell so you're notified when we make more videos. And apart from that, then you guys have a great day. Deuces.
Peace out.